WWE has big plans for Rhea Ripley, and in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly what those plans are, why they're significant, and why I was caught off guard by it, because when I saw it, I had to take a double glance, because I didn't think it was going to happen. Look, Rhea Ripley, it's been her year. It has been her year of injuries, I should say, because we all know that Rhea Ripley has been out of action with a broken orbital bone. It sucked, because we just went through an injury hiatus with Rhea Ripley. Look, she had a breakout year in 2023, Women's Royal Rumble winner, beating Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania 39, elevating the Judgment Day, becoming a bona fide main eventer. And then she transitioned from a heel to a babyface earlier this year, had an epic match with Becky Lynch at WrestleMania, and then vacated the championship due to a shoulder injury in a backstage segment with Liv Morgan. You know that. But we went without Rhea Ripley for months, and it sucked because she's a core staple of the WWE roster. Not even in the women's division, the entire roster. That's how big of a star Rhea Ripley is. And the fact that she was able to get over in the position in which she did from a heel to a babyface, fans gravitated towards Rhea Ripley. Fans wanted to see Rhea Ripley succeed, and they wanted to rally behind her, and that's exactly what happened. So, fast forward this summer, we finally got her back. She finally entered into the program with Liv Morgan, right? They did the SummerSlam match. She got screwed out over by Dominic Mysterio getting involved. Dirty Dom just turning his back on Rhea Ripley. They do a mixed tag team match, Bash in Berlin. Bad Blood. That was supposed to be Rhea's moment, only for Raquel Rodriguez to return and screw her out of the title. Although Rhea did walk out with a DQ win. So then plans looked like, hey, we're going to get Rhea and Raquel before we get to the trilogy, the third and final bout between Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley. They had to do something because things were kind of getting a little repetitive on television. Even me, a huge Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley fan, and a huge fan of this storyline, someone who has advocated for a trilogy bout, yeah, it was getting a little repetitive. WWE reportedly had plans to do Rhea Ripley versus Raquel at Crown Jewel, but Rhea suffered a broken orbital bone. Now that leads us to today's video. And before I go any further, I want to make this very clear. What I'm about to talk about is something in which I did not expect. It's also something that includes spoilers. It involves spoilers for next week's episode of Monday Night Raw. Okay? So if you do not want to hear spoilers, I'm sorry, but this video is not for you. This is what WWE has plans for Rhea Ripley. So they have been building towards a women's War Games match, something in which I anticipated because you have the War Games match for the men with the Bloodline on SmackDown. So for the November 18th episode of Monday Night Raw, Rhea Ripley returned when she attacked our Women's World Champion Liv Morgan. A brawl led to Rhea aligning with Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill, our Women's Tag Team Champions, Naomi, and the number one contender for the Women's World Championship, Io Sky. They stood tall over Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, Tiffany Stratton, and Women's Champion Nia Jax, setting the scene for a Women's War Games match. I absolutely love this. I love this for so many different reasons, and I'm about to break it down. Number one, we're getting Rhea Ripley back, okay? She is wearing a protective face mask, which is something that I had suspicions that they may do. The Undertaker, he wore that before. Trish Stratus, she wore that before. There's been countless stars who have wore this. You see this with the NBA guys all the time, right? It's a clear mask that you wear, and it protects your face. It's still painful, right? She still has to deal with the pain, but at least she can go out there and work. So number one, you get Rhea Ripley back. You are also continuing the Liv Morgan storyline, and it sets the scene for a lot more things to happen in this rivalry while extending it, right? Because you want to finish off the story in the right way with the proper ending which will be Rhea holding the Women's World Championship, getting her ultimate revenge over Liv Morgan. You know that, I know that. But it also gives and adds layers to the storyline. So now we're going to get Rhea in the match with Raquel and Liv in a War Games match with other people. It's a different storyline. It also is going to eventually lead to Rhea and Raquel doing their singles match, because WWE, they already had plans for that. You might as well do it. I would assume Saturday Night's Main Event on December 14th. Could be wrong. They could just do it on an episode of Monday Night Raw. And then you do Rhea and Liv. And you can also delay Rhea and Liv 3. Another thing that it does, you still have to get Io Sky Liv Morgan done, because Io Sky is the #1 contender for the Women's World Championship. So you still have to do that match. Therefore, that's why I say you can do Rhea and Raquel at, say, Saturday Night's Main Event, and you can do Io versus Liv at Saturday Night's Main Event. Or, pick a PLE. It also brings in and it gives something for Tiffany Stratton and Women's Champion Nia Jax. It also gives something of credence, of substance to Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair. Now, there's a lot of positives with this match. There's a lot of positives with this plans. However, I'm a realist here. If you're going to be realistic, you have to address the elephant in the room. Yes, Liv Morgan and Raquel insulted Jade and Bianca. And yes, Rhea has history with Liv and Raquel. But bringing in the SmackDown talent, and I understand that, they've worked together, like Tiffany Stratton and Nia Jax, they got involved in the main event on this week's episode of Monday Night Raw with Jade and Bianca and Liv and Raquel. But there's not a lot of substance there. There's not a lot of reason other than, well, we're heels, so we're going to stick up, or I don't like you, or you insulted me. There's not enough on the bone that necessarily gets me excited about this. If you're looking at it from a storyline progression standpoint, yes, I like the War Games concept. In terms of substance, in terms of meaning, do I really, really care about it? No. No, I don't. It's not on the same level of the Bloodline War Games match. In fact, it comes across as, oh, golly, it's Survivor Series and we're doing a men's War Games match. We might as well have a women's, or we need a women's War Game match. That's the way it comes across. Not a huge fan of that, but that's the direction that WWE is going.